Hello, good morning all of you. Today we will start with the exercise 6.2 question number 5. Okay, all of you take your textbook and see the diagram. In the figure, if AB parallel to CD, angle APQ is equal to 50 degree and angle PRD is equal to 127, find the value of X and Y. Okay, once more see the question. Which is parallel? AB is parallel to CD. AB is parallel to CD given and two angles given. Which angle? Angle APQ given 50 degree and angle PRD is given as 127 degree. Clear? Okay, see the diagram. Diagram, see all of you. AB is parallel to CD drawn. See the diagram. AB parallel to CD and PR is the transversal. You can take PR as the transversal also can take and PQ as the transversal also can take. We are taking both also, one by one we can take. Okay. So if PR is the transversal, coming, then very clearly you can see that angle APR, see, teacher what showing that, see, angle APR, this angle APR and angle PRD, what type of angles? I written over here, alternate interior angles. So what about alternate interior angles? If the lines are parallel, alternate interior angles are always equal. Clear? So which are the alternate interior angles? See, which transversal you taken? You taken PR as the transversal. Therefore, angle APR is equal to angle PRD. Clear? Angle APR is equal to angle PRD. So what is angle APR? See here, angle APR. So APR is formed by two angles. This angle 1 and this angle. Okay? So APR, how we can write 50 plus Y. Total measure of angle APR is equal to this angle 50 and this angle Y. Both adding you are getting APR. Because angle APQ and angle QPR are adjacent angles. So what you can say? Therefore angle APR is equal to angle APQ plus angle QPR. So which angle saying? Properly listen. Okay, therefore what I written the short step only enough. I told you several times these are 2 mark question, that much step is enough. So you want to know the question and answer properly. Okay, what is angle APR? APR is equal to 50 plus Y. 50 plus Y. What is the value of PRD? 27. Therefore 50 plus Y is equal to 127. Therefore the value of Y is equal to 127 minus 50. Clear? Therefore 127 minus 50, how much getting? 77 degree. So you got the value of Y. See your question again. What you want to find out? You want to find out X and Y. So what is the value of Y? You got a Y is equal to, you got as 77. Now what is your aim? What you want to find out? You want to find the value of X. So now see the diagram. You yourself find out. Any method is to find out X and Y. X. So here AB and the CD are parallel. So what about the transversal? PQ is the transversal. If PQ is the transversal, then what about this angle? Where angle pointing? Listen. This angle and this angle. What type of angles? This is also alternate interior angles. So angle APQ, angle PQ are also what type of angles? Alternate interior angles. What about the alternate interior angles? They are equal. Alternate interior angles are always equal. See the next point what I written. Again, AB is parallel to CD and PQ is the transversal. Therefore, angle APQ is equal to angle PQR. See the diagram again once more. APQ this one and PQR is this one. Okay, APQ and PQR are equal 10. What's the value of APQ from the diagram? 50. And what is PQR? X. Therefore, what you can say? The value of X is equal to how much? 50. The value of X is equal to how much, got? 50. Go through the sum properly now. Once more, full sums you see once more. Whole sum you see. Got clear? X is equal to 50. Clear now? X and Y got. The value of X also got. The value of Y also got. Now go through the next question. In question number PQ, in question number 6, in figure, PQ and RS are two mirrors placed parallel to each other. Okay? And next point, listen. An incident ray AB strikes the mirror PQ at B. The reflected ray moves along the path BC and strikes the mirror RS at C and again reflects along CD. Prove that AB is parallel to CD. So we can see the diagram also along with it. So then only you can able to understand. Once more see. In the figure, PQ and RS are two mirrors placed parallel to each other. See here, the mirror PQ and mirror RS are placed parallel. The meaning is that it's PQ and RS, the surface of the mirrors are parallel to each other. PQ and RS are kept parallel to each other. Clear? The next point, see, an incident ray AB strikes PQ. PQ means the mirror PQ at the point B. So this is the incident ray. This incident ray strikes at which point? At the point B. Then what is happening? Reflecting back. Reflecting through which ray? Reflecting along the path BC. Then again it reflects and touches on the mirror at the point C. Then what is happening? It again reflects back. Okay? Reflects back along CD. Prove that AB is parallel to CD. This is the question. Okay? So this one very clearly listen. And here this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. And here this is the incident ray here touching and reflecting back. And these are the rays given. So the one point you want to know, what is meant by angle of incidence. Angle of incidence, here what I drawn here, B. This B is perpendicular line, perpendicular to the mirror PQ, and the CF is also perpendicular to the mirror RS through the point C. This B is the perpendicular through the point B, okay, and this CF is the perpendicular through the mirror through the point C. Clear the points? Okay. Therefore, now we can see what is meant by angle of incidence. Angle of incidence is the angle between incident ray and the perpendicular. The meaning is that I marked here angle 1. Clear? Angle 1. Angle of incidence is the angle between incident ray. This is the incident ray. And this is the perpendicular. This already you are studied in the small class also. So this is the angle of incidence. Okay. And angle of reflection, this one. This is the reflected ray. Okay. And this is the reflected ray from the point B. Therefore, the angle between this ray and this perpendicular we are calling as angle of reflection. So you can see I written somewhere else. See here. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Clear? So now angle of incidence, clear idea got now? Angle of incidence is the angle between incident ray and the perpendicular. Which is the perpendicular? Here I drawn B. Therefore, this angle 1 is called angle of incidence at the point B. Angle 2 is called angle of reflection at the point B. Clear? So, because this is the perpendicular and this is the angle of ray of reflection. Therefore, this angle we are calling as angle of reflection. And next here at the point C. So, this is the incident ray here. So, this is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of reflection. So, now listen the proof. Let us draw BE is perpendicular to PQ. See here, BE is drawn perpendicular to PQ and CF is drawn perpendicular to RS. At the same time, you knowing that PQ and RS is already parallel. PQ and parallel already given. PQ and RS parallel given. Okay. So, what you can say, if PQ is parallel to RS and this PQ is perpendicular, this B is perpendicular to PQ and CF is perpendicular to RS, therefore what you can say, B is parallel to CF only possible. Why? See here from the diagram also it is clear for you, and this B and CF should be parallel only possible. Because why it is parallel happening? Because already PQ and RS are parallel. No, PQ and RS are parallel. So this B is perpendicular to PQ and this CF is perpendicular to RS. But PQ and RS are parallel. Therefore what you can say, B and CF is parallel only possible. That is the point I written down side. See here. See the point. Now diagram you got clear. Okay. So let us draw B is perpendicular to PQ and CF is perpendicular to RS. But PQ is parallel to RS. Therefore what will happen? B is parallel to CF. So by laws of reflection you have studied, and I hope so in 8th standard you may be studied the laws of reflection. By laws of reflection, what is the law of reflection saying? Angle of incidence and angle of reflection both are equal. So angle of incidence at a point and angle of reflection at that point are equal. That is at this point, this angle is called angle of incidence and this we are calling as angle of reflection. Both are equal. That is why I written here angle 1 is equal to angle 2. And similarly at this point, angle of incidence is 3, angle of reflection is 4. Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal. This angle 1 equal to angle 2 and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Together you write it as equation number 1. Now next point, see. BE is parallel to CF now. This BE is parallel to CF. And you can take this which point B is BC. BC you can take as the transversal now. If BC is the transversal, what about angle 2 and angle 3? What type of angles? They are alternate interior angles. See here, BE is equal to C, parallel to CF, and BC is the transversal. Therefore, angle 2 and angle 3 are what type of angles? Alternate interior angles. From 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 combining, you may have some doubts. See here, from 1 and 2 what you can say? 1 is equal to 2 is equal to 3 is equal to 4. All the angles are equal. So I have shown one example here. This is simply for your understanding written, not to write in the notebook. Angle 1 is equal to 2. Suppose you are taken as angle 1 is 30. Then what about angle 2? 30. What's the reason? You already knowing that angle 1 and angle 2 are equal, knowing no. But second equation, see what is written? Angle 2 is equal to 3. Angle 2 is equal to angle 3. So angle 2 30 getting, then what about angle 3? Angle 3 also 30. Now see here, what is angle 3? Angle 3 is equal to angle 4. So angle 3 30 coming, what you can say? Angle 4 30. In short, what you can say? All the angles are equal. Are you got clear the point? This concept is clear. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2 is equal to angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Now see your diagram once more. So this angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4 are equal now. So now we can able to angle 1 and 2 we can able to add angle 1. Suppose angle 1 30, angle 2 30. So 30 plus 30 how much will come? 60. Angle 330, angle 430. What is 30 plus 30? 60. So what I written here downside? See. Therefore, angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to angle 3 plus angle 4. So what you can say, angle 1 plus angle 2, see how much, what is angle 1 plus angle 2? Angle ABC. What is angle 3 plus angle 4? Angle BCD. Are you got clear? So, now what you got, angle ABC equal to angle BCD. Now see here properly, see the diagram. Angle ABC, clear? And angle BCD. What type of angles? They are alternate angle formed by these two lines with the transversal BC. So these alternate angles are equal. Then what you can say, that lines are parallel. Therefore, which lines are parallel? AB parallel to CD. Are you got clear? Understood the point? So in short, what we want to prove that? We want to prove that AB parallel to CD. For AB parallel to CD proving, any pair of alternate angles congruent you want, or any pair of corresponding angle congruent need, or interior angles on the same side of the transversal supplementary you need. Any one we want to prove. Here we prove that angle ABC and angle BCD are equal, we proved. But what type of angles? Angle ABC and angle BCD, they are the alternate interior angles formed by line AB and line CD with the transversal BC. Since the angles are equal, therefore what you can say, line AB and line CD are parallel. So that we proved AB is parallel to CD. Clear? Remaining points teacher written downside. See here, ABC is equal to BCD got. Now angle ABC and angle BCD are alternate interior angles on the same side of the alternate interior angles, and the angles are equal. Therefore by theorem, what you can say, AB parallel to CD. Clear? Got clear now? Perfectly learn it. Every now and then 1 or 2 or 3 times you listen the video so that you will get it properly. So okay, 6.2 is over now, students. Now we are going to learn very important one theorem, angle sum property of a triangle. Angle sum property of a triangle. So you may be studied, you may heard in the previous year, sum of all angles of a triangle is 180. But we want to prove here. Okay, we can see. Theorem number 6.7. The sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. Sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. For a triangle, how many angles are there? Triangle. Tri means 3. 3 angle. For a triangle, how many angles are there? 3 angles are there. So we want to prove that the sum of all the 3 angles is 180. Okay, very easy theorem and simple. See the diagram. Statement got clear now? We want to prove that sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180. Clear? See the diagram. Diagram, listen properly. So which is your triangle? Triangle is triangle PQR. Which are the angles of triangle PQR? Angle P, angle Q and angle R. Angle P we given the number 1, angle Q we given the number 2, angle 3 we given the number 3. In short, we want to prove that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 equal to 180. Clear? Okay. So, how we proving, you listen. Actually, very simple method proof only this one. So, for proving this sum of all angles 180, first diagram properly you draw. And here, this is the base of the triangle. Through the base we drawn the line, extended the line. And here also we drawn a line. Which line? Line XPY. This line. XPY. We drawn through this point P. So which is the base you taken? Base you are taken as QR. So what is its opposite vertex? P. So you drawn a line through this point P. Is it clear? And how drawn? It should be parallel to QR. Anywhere drawing not possible. The line which you drawn, which line drawn XPY, you should draw it is parallel to QR. Okay, parallel to QR draw. See the points I written down side. We are given a triangle PQR. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 are the angles of the triangle PQR. We need to prove that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 equal to 180. Clear? This all teacher explained now? Yes. Now let us draw a line XPY parallel to QR through the opposite vertex P. That also clear? Now next point, see, since XPY is a line, angle 4 plus angle 1 plus angle 5 is equal to 180. So simply saying not possible, we can see the diagram. See here, XPY is a line, no? So in this line XPY, how many angles forming? Sum of all the angles should be 180 only forming, because it is a straight angle. XPY we are calling a straight angle. The straight angle's measurement what you studied, 180 degree. Therefore, since the line XPY is a line, its measure is 180. Therefore, angle 4 plus angle 1 plus angle 5 is equal to 180. That point is clear. See what I written, see down side. Angle 4 plus angle 1 plus angle 5 is equal to 180. Equation number 1. Is it clear for you? Understood? Okay, now we can move to the diagram again. Without a diagram, geometry not able to explain also. See here the diagram. Now here also we will take it two transversal. Which are they? This XPY and this line QR are parallel. Clear? Now you take a PQ as the transversal. One transversal you take a PQ. If this is the transversal PQ, what about angle 2 and angle 4? What type of angles? You think fast and say. What type of angles? Alternate interior angle. If the lines are parallel, what about alternate interior angles? Alternate interior angles are equal. Therefore, what you can say? Angle 2 is equal to angle 4 or angle 4 is equal to angle 2. Clear? Clear? Okay. Now next you see, again see, XPY is parallel to QR, no? So you take a PR as the transversal. Then what about these two angles? I marked with the same symbol, so you can able to identify very easily. So what about angle 3 and angle 5? What type of angles? It is also alternate interior angles. Therefore, what about this? Their measures? Angle 3 and angle 5 are also equal. Is it clear? Angle 3 and angle 5 are also equal. That only written here. Written downside. You can see here. From the diagram you understood it. See what I written. See. XPY is parallel to QR and PQ and PR are the transversals. Therefore, angle 4 is equal to angle 2. Therefore, angle 5 is equal to angle 3. And what is the reason I written here? Alternate interior angles. Now, what we are doing? This in the place of angle 4, angle 5, we will give the value of angle 4 and angle 5. What's the value of angle 4? Angle 2. And what's the value of angle 5? Angle 3. See here. Here, in equation number 1, in the place of angle 4, you give angle 2. Here you give angle 2. And in the place of angle 5, you give angle 3. Did you given? Yes. You can see the next step. Angle 2 plus angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180. Therefore, what you got? Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to how much got? 180. Now you got clear? Very simple theorem now. Easily you are getting. So sum of all angles of a triangle is 180. It is a repeated question for the examination also. Very important theorem. Theorem number 6.7. Sum of all angles of a triangle is how much? 180. Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180. Above all the points I explained it 2-3 times. So enough now. Okay, clear? Learn it perfect. Now we are going to explain one more theorem, theorem number 6.8. Before explaining theorem number 6.8, you want to know what is meant by exterior angle of a triangle and what is the interior opposite angles. So that I drawn down, sir. See here. Exterior angle. Here, listen here. This is triangle PQR, no? This triangle PQR. So which side I extended? I extended a side QR. See here, this is the QR is one side. This QR I extended to S. Extended now. So that you can able to see one angle outside. Outside the triangle. Which angle? Angle PRS is formed outside. This angle we are calling as the exterior angle. Exterior angle. Now, this exterior angle forming this angle you are taking very clearly. You can say these two angles are what type of angles? Adjacent angles. Clear now? This angle PRS, angle PRQ, both the angles are adjacent angles. But here you want to know that interior opposite angles. So this angle you don't take. Then which are the remaining angles? Angle P and angle Q. Therefore, these angles we are calling as interior opposite angle with respect to this exterior angle. Are you got clear concept? Once more see. Any one side of a triangle you can extend. Here we are extended, Q are extended to S. Clear? So that you got an angle here. Angle PRS. Now you can see angle PRS and angle PRQ forms a linear pair. At the same time you can see that these two angles adjacent angle. And this angle we are calling as the exterior angle at this vertex. Okay. So now these two angles are adjacent angles now. So except this angle R, which are the remaining angle of triangle PQR? Angle P and angle Q. Therefore, this angle P and angle Q, what we are calling? Interior opposite angle. Okay. Suppose you are this side extending in this way, you will get the exterior angle here. Then what we will say? We will say angle Q and angle R are the interior opposite angle. Clear? So, with respect to angle PRS, which are the interior opposite angles? Angle P and angle Q. Angle P and angle Q. Okay. Got clear all of you? Now each vertex, how many exterior angles will form? 2 exterior angles will form. See here, this angle PRS is one exterior angle now. This angle PRS is one exterior angle. Same way you will get another exterior angle at this vertex. Which one? Angle QRT. Therefore, through each vertex, how many exterior angles are there? 2 exterior angles are there. So at this point R, you are getting 2 exterior angle. Here also you will get 2 exterior angle. Here also you will get 2 exterior angle. Total, how many exterior angles for a triangle? 6. One vertex, how many exterior angle forming? 2. So each vertex 2 coming now. Total, how many exterior angle will come? 6 exterior angles are forming. Now we can come to the theorem. Theorem number 6.8. See. If a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equal to the sum of the 2 interior opposite angle. Very important theorem. Many places we are applying. Once more listen. Thus, if a side of a triangle is produced, then the exterior angle so formed is equal to the sum of the 2 interior opposite angles. See the diagram. Which is the exterior angle here? Angle PRS. So measure of this angle PRS is equal to sum of the interior opposite angles. Which are the interior opposite angles? Angle P and angle Q. No problem. You are sitting at home. You draw a diagram and measure angle PRS measure, and angle P and Q also measure, and then angle P and angle Q you add it together. While adding, very clearly you will get a sum of angle P and angle Q will be equal to PRS. Very clearly you can able to measure with the protractor. Okay, so measure and see. So this is the theorem. So what you got, a measure of angle PRS is equal to angle P plus angle Q. Very important theorem. Measure of the exterior angle is equal to sum of the interior opposite angle. Here the interior opposite angles are angle P and angle Q. Therefore measure angle PRS is equal to angle P plus angle Q. Okay, clear? So from this statement it is very clear, very easily you can say that measure of the exterior angle is always greater than each angle, each interior opposite angle. Okay, so measure of the exterior angle is always greater than measure of each interior opposite angle. For example, I will say, suppose this angle is 120 and this angle is 70 and this angle is 50. So 120 is greater or 70 is greater or 50 is greater? Which is greater? 120 is greater. Therefore, measure of exterior angle is always greater than either of its interior opposite angle. That meaning is that angle PRS is always greater than angle P, and angle PRS is always greater than angle Q also. Once more see the statement, the measure of the exterior angle is always greater than either of its interior opposite angles. Okay students? Okay students, bye. So perfect learn and come for the next class.